Classification Board says the government is keen to regulate the media industry through stringent laws because the Kenyan media has to regulate themselves. The board's Chief Executive Officer Ezekiel Mutua has welcomed the Communication Authority's action to gazette controversial regulations designed to ensure that all players in the broadcast and film industries operate with a high sense of responsibility and general consideration of decency.
That for the longest time now, the media in this country have failed, and this is very sad, to regulate themselves. The media has failed to regulate themselves, despite the efforts of the government to strengthen such agencies, including the Media Council of Kenya. And in fact, I think we are the only country where the government funds the Media Council of Kenya and allows it to operate as a self-regulating body. Broadcasting sexually suggestive content on television and the airing of raunchy radio talk shows in the morning where people discuss sex in the morning within the watershed has continued unabated, despite the fact that the media are aware that they are in breach of the same law. These are the unfortunate circumstances that could invite government regulation. In fact, we always say failure to regulate yourself will always attract government regulation. And I think the caution we want to give here, there is a media council with a comprehensive mechanism including a complaints commission, and I think if the media can be keen on the provisions of the code of ethics that is in that law, then the government would have no business coming in to force you to behave in a certain way. Going forward, therefore, we urge the media to stick to the ethics of conduct to ensure we do not create unnecessary strains with the regulator or with the regulatory authority. The board has also already fortified its media monitoring unit and injected sufficient capacity to enable our team to identify and flag in real time all content that builds the country's moral fabric or provides details of adult nature within the watershed. In this regard, all broadcast stations will henceforth be required to obtain a certificate of compliance from KFCB to facilitate the processing of the renewal of their licenses by the CA. Please note that the board will not recommend the renewal. At least will not recommend. If there are other ways of obtaining the same, that is fair and okay. But if we will be required to do so as part of the process of regulation, then it will be very difficult for us to do so. And remember, there are also situations, if you breach the terms of the license that you have been given, where CA can take even drastic action, including revocation of license. In acknowledgement of the